So tonight for dinner, my family wanted fried ravioli, and I just bought one because I thought we'd just have it as a snack, but they wanted a meal out of it. So I went and bought another one, and I got some salad ingredients that I'm going to make a quick salad to go with it, and some marinara right there. But these are not frozen, and they do fry up better when they're frozen. So I'm going to open this package up, put them on a cookie sheet, put them in the deep freeze while I make the first batch. Okay, to make the fried ravioli, you need an egg wash, so a couple eggs and a little bit of milk. No measuring, just about 1/4 of a cup. Get it mixed up. And then you're going to need some flour and some breadcrumbs. Now, as I said in the food hall, I learned to make my own ravioli in culinary school, but I am taking some help. These are rather small, so maybe one package will be enough for us. And I did not open the other package. I just went ahead and popped it in the freezer. So here's how you do it. You dip them in the egg, into the flour, shake it off, back into the egg for a quick second, and then into the breadcrumbs, coat it well, and repeat until you have them all done. Now I have some oil slowly heating up in a skillet on my stove. If you're going to use a thermometer, you're going to want it about 400, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going with my gut on, frying it just like you would fry anything else. I don't want to do too many because I don't want them thawing out in that egg mix. So I'm just going to repeat until I have them all done. It's going to take me a minute. Look at this pile of ravioli. It's breaded, and I think one package is plenty. Now I'm warming up some oil. You can see it's between 7 and 8 on my stove, and I'm using some of the Crisco Natural Blend. Now here's the tip to know if you're not using a thermometer when your oil is ready. Put your spoon, your wooden spoon, down in. See the bubbles? That means it's ready. So we're going to take just a couple of, this is hard to do with my hand holding the camera, couple of our ravioli onto our spider, and we'll slide them right into the oil. Now the spider has a very long handle, so it keeps you from getting burned, which is super nice. So we're going to get our ravioli in. We're going to cook it for just a couple minutes, but we're going to have to flip it, so I'm just going to keep adding pieces. Those raviolis, not pieces. And I'm going to drain them on a paper plate, and then I'm going to put them in the oven to stay warm until they're all finished. I'm going to make sure there's plenty of room, and that's why I like using a big skillet. If you have a fryer, that would work completely fine too. These are ready to be turned. Doesn't take long. See how dark? And they'll be ready to come out. So that's how you do it, and I'm just going to keep repeating until they're done. So Scott is being kind enough to help me with cheesing up the ravioli, and he likes it, right? So we got it cooking, and we're moving along. Okay, so the baked ravioli, well, it's really fried, but it's called baked, which doesn't make any sense, but the baked ravioli is done. So you go ahead. Scott is loving it, and he's going to sample it and show you guys how good it is, because he loves it. And it's kind of odd because he normally doesn't get happy over any kind of pasta, but I think I found something he likes. So that's our dinner tonight. It's our simple Sunday dinner, and it's super easy to make. One package was more than enough. I have some sauce. I'm serving it with a wedge, which is some tomato and bacon with some ranch on ours and blue cheese on Scott's. Jackson just got his plate, and it's time to eat. So tonight for dinner, Jackson is having a grilled cheese and some soup, because I'm going to be making our plated meal, or at least one of them, which I'm super excited about. We're testing it out and seeing how good they are, but I wanted to get Jackson's dinner done first. Okay, there's Jackson's simple dinner, and now I can feed him, and we'll get on with the adult dinner. So here are the plates of food from plated.com. Now you can see the steak with the sauce over the top, and the spinach and potato gratin. Now you can look at the picture. There it is. And here's how mine looks. So pretty close. Now here's the telling part. Let's taste it. So I'm going to get some of that steak and that sauce. It's got really good flavors. This is going to be a hit. I can tell you already. My husband's going to love it. I like it so far. Stay tuned for the next recipe, which is a quinoa salmon salad with avocado. So far, I'm really liking it, so it's lovely. So tonight for dinner, we are having beef stew, and I have all the stew meat, and I've already put some salt and pepper. I'm going to add a couple tablespoons of flour, mix it up really good. You could do it in a baggie too, and then I'm going to fry it in batches, or brown it, that is. And then remove it, and we'll move on with this delicious stew recipe. You can see the stew meat is all floured up. I got some oil heating up right here, and I'm going to fry it in batches, or brown it. Why do I keep saying fry it? Just in batches, because it's not a very, wide pot. It is tall, but it's not very wide, so I'm just going to start browning them, and then remove them. And then we'll brown our onion that I have over here and our garlic. The potatoes, carrots, and peas will go in after it's... So I've got most of the stew meat browned up, and the last little bit is in, and then we'll get the onion and garlic in. So I have the onions in now, and I'm just browning them up. And I am going to go ahead and put my carrots in, because carrots tend to take a little bit longer, and I'm going to go ahead and get those cooking. My potatoes will go in a little bit later, along with the peas. But I'm going to put the carrots in just a minute, and then put the garlic in, which will be the last. Add the meat back, add some stock, and it'll go in the oven. The carrots are in, and I'm just letting them soften up just a little bit. I'm going to put the lid on, give it about 5 minutes, stir them up, and then go ahead and add the rest of the garlic and then some beef broth. So you could certainly use water, season it up with any type of beef bouillon if that's your thing. You could use water and some brown gravy. That works completely fine too. I like to use a packet of brown gravy and the broth. So that's what I'm going to be doing. But I just wanted the carrots to go on and get just a little bit of some color on them and get them softened up a little bit before I put them right in the oven. Now that's made a nice little bed for our garlic so it doesn't burn up. So in it goes. We'll give it a couple more minutes, and then it'll be about time to go in the oven. Now, I have a crock pot recipe for this, but, on cold days, I prefer to use my oven. There's times, for convenience, I like the crock pot in the winter, but if it can heat our house and make it warm and keep our power bill down, then I'm all for it. So, heating the oven to 350 right now. You need to remember that this needs to cook low and slow. Stew meat takes a while to, loosen up and not be tough. So you need to cook it low and slow. It's going to cook for about 2 hours in the oven once we get the meat in there and the broth, along with the brown gravy. And then I'm going to pull it out, put in the potatoes and the peas, and let it finish cooking. Boy, if you guys could smell those onions and garlic and carrots, I think you all would invite yourselves over for dinner, because it smells so good. This is one of my absolute favorite meals. I'm going to go ahead and slide the meat that's not cooked all the way through, but browned right in. I'm going to mix it up. It's one of my all-time favorite meals. I love beef stew. And I'm pretty picky about my own, but I love it. And I serve it with biscuits, and that's what we're going to be having with this tonight. And Scott's probably going to have to work late, so this is one of those meals that you could definitely leave on the stove after it comes out of the oven, and let people, fix them a bowl whenever they come in and grab a biscuit out of the oven. It's maybe keeping everything, warm. So now I'm adding beef stock. I'm going to add about 3 cups. As I said, you could use water. I'm going to add most of it. But beef stock will always give it more flavor. Probably more like 4 cups. There we go. I'm going to add 1 packet of brown gravy mix. That will help thicken it up, but the flour on the meat already helps thicken it up. And if you wasn't using brown gravy mix, you would want to use a little bit of flour also. So you don't have to worry about it coming to a boil or anything. You can just put the powder in or the flour and stir it up as well as you can, and it will come together in the oven. Okay, brown gravy mix in, lid on, stove off, and this is going into a preheated 350-degree oven for about 2 hours. I totally forgot I needed to add some thyme, so I'm just leaving the stems on. I can fetch them out later. It's not going to hurt anything. And I'm just going to drop them in, put that lid right back on, and let it have fun cooking away while warming up our home. So there we go. So I have about 4 large red skin potatoes peeled to go into the stew. I have my frozen peas. I still have some broth out. I have 2 cans of tomatoes that will go in, and we are going to get the stew out of there. I haven't opened it at all since the last time you've seen it. You can get a good look through the lid, how everything looks. Let's open it up. All right, Todd. Okay, woo. Give it a stir. Looks great. Okay, so I'm going to add the tomatoes and the potatoes. I'm going to get them all in there. We're down to the last hour of cook time. Bake time, really. Okay, I also added a bunch of peas, about 1.5 cups to 2 cups. I have it over here in the light so you can see how delicious it already looks. I have the thyme stems because they were easy to find. And I'm just going to stir it up one more time, put the lid on it, and put it in the oven for the last hour of cooking. That way your potatoes don't get too mushy. Oh my God, that's going to be delicious. You might have to try a bite now. Okay, so I moved the racks before it starts its cook time again because I'm going to put my biscuits on the top shelf, and I needed to move them. So if you serve it with biscuits, keep that in mind. The oven temperature is at 350, which is the same temperature as the biscuits need, so it's perfect. Let it cook for 1 more hour. So I have my biscuits going in. These are store-bought. It is a weeknight after all. And there's no way I'd make homemade biscuits tonight. But those are going straight in. Stew's still cooking. I'm not going to bother it. And when the biscuits are done, I'm sure the stew will be done too. So the beef stew is done. Look at all of that deliciousness. Oh my gosh. And the biscuits are done. And I'm going to get dinner plated up. It's going to be delicious. Tell me that dinner don't look amazing. Got the biscuit. I got Jackson a small one, and my husband can come home and get him a bowl whenever he gets home from work. It's time for us to eat. So I have been obsessed with kale chips here lately. I've been paying $7 a container. I can eat a container like in one sitting. They are so delicious. I can't believe I'm hooked on these. So I thought, why not make my own? So I bought 2 bags of organic kale greens pre-washed. I went through, tried to take out most of the woody stems and just have the leaves. And I made a little concoction. So you're going to need some olive oil if you want to make these. And you can make them just with some salt and some cheese. You can make them completely plain. But my little concoction right here in my mini KitchenAid food processor, which I love, is a combination of Parmesan cheese, freshly grated Parmesan cheese, about, I don't know, a half of container of sunflower seeds, a couple tablespoons of kosher salt, a couple tablespoons of garlic powder, and a pinch of red pepper. And so I went ahead and grated that up in my food processor, and now I have my oven preheating to 300 degrees. I'm going to drizzle these with olive oil. We're going to take about 20 minutes. We're going to have to, stir them around a few times. And then we're going to mix in half, we'll split this in half, of the little mixture I made over. I'm going to mix it up with my hands, so don't worry. Okay. Now with clean hands, mix the olive oil and whatever seasonings you want. Mix them up well. And they're going to take somewhere between 20 and 30 minutes in the oven. You're going to have to get in and flip them around as they cook down. I know that. And, you know, super easy. And they're going to be a lot cheaper than, you know, buying them already done like this. So, hopefully, this little child recipe works out. They said don't worry in one of the recipes about it looking like a lot, that one package of kale. It does look like a lot, but it comes down. Now, if you don't buy organic pre-washed, definitely wash it. Put it through your salad spinner, get it dry. You could prep it ahead of time. And get it ready for whatever night you want to put it in the oven. Okay, so I'm going to wash my hands, get these in our oven. I'm going to rotate them to halfway through, so the one on the bottom comes up and the one on the top goes down. So the kale is going in, and we will check on it in about 15 minutes. So here they are, and they are crispy, and I've already ate like a handful of them. They are delicious. That seasoning mix is really good. And as you can hear, they are quite crispy. Oh. I love them. And they're super healthy. I'm going to let these cool for a little bit, and then I'll put them in an airtight container. But it's going to be hard to stay out of them because they're that good. Got my kale chips done. They are in a baggie, and they are delicious. I bet they won't last that long. Super good. And they really overcharge for them because when you make them yourself, you save a lot more. So these are a healthy, delicious snack that I'm very happy I made. So tonight we are making the quinoa salad and seared salmon and avocado. And it is the second plated meal that I picked out. Okay, so I have the salmon that I flaked and the avocado, like half an avocado per bowl. And then we're just going to take some lime juice over the avocados, and dinner is done. So tonight for dinner we are having pancakes and sausage. We don't get breakfast a lot like this on mornings. So every once in a while for dinner, or, you know, once a week maybe, not even that always, we make breakfast. So tonight it's pancakes. I got my griddle out. I got my sausage cooking. I also have my oranges cut up because it's getting fall and we all need more vitamin C. So we've been eating a lot of oranges, and that's going to be served with our pancakes tonight. Yum! Look at those. They look yummy. Look at that. Who doesn't love pancakes? Yum! In the oven to stay warm. Now I'm going to have 2 plates. One for pancakes with chocolate chips and one for without. And there go for regular ones. So I keep it down to like 100 degrees in the oven, and it just keeps everything warm and doesn't crack your plates. Now I've got to get moving with more pancakes. So here is dinner. It looks delicious with the sausage links and the oranges and the pancakes. We are a pancake loving family, that's for sure. I'm going to drizzle down some warm syrup right over the top. That's going to be magnificent. It's dinner time. It is pizza night. We got mine and Jackson's, and we got Mr. Jaggers over here, who has like the most disgusting looking pizza ever. He has pepperoni. I don't know. It looks like sausage maybe they put on when I didn't request it. Bacon.
Black olives.
Black olives. banana peppers, and there's pepperoni for Jackson and cheese for me. That's our simple dinner tonight, and we're gonna eat it up. So for dinner tonight, I made some quick manwich. The boys can serve themselves anytime they're hungry, and some potato tots, and they are done and they're hot, and it's a weeknight. We are tired. I don't want to be in the kitchen, and I didn't want to make anything for dinner, but I did. And now it's time to yell at the boys, let them get some plates and make their own dinners tonight, because this is as much as I'm doing. So tonight we are just having the sausage and potato dinner with cornbread, as I've shown you guys 100 times. So I'm just mixing it up, and I got on the stove the potatoes cooking. They are first with a little bit of onion, and I got the dish heating up for the cornbread. So I'm going to soon add the sausage and then some green beans. Alright, there we go. I am going to actually put it on the top. I don't want the bottom to get too dark. I added the sausage, and I just let it cook on top for just a couple minutes, and then I'll flip it all around. So I added the green beans, gave it a good stir, and in case you're new to my videos or new to these What's Cooking videos, this is one of my favorite weeknight meals. It's smoked sausage, some green beans, and some potatoes. I usually start the potatoes first because they take the longest. Right now I have the cornbread baking away in the oven, which is the side I like to serve with this meal. And the potatoes are still not near as tender as I'd like them to be. So I'm just going to put on the lid, turn it down, and let them cook on low while the cornbread bakes in the oven. So here is our very quick weeknight dinner. The sausage, potatoes, green beans, and onions are delicious. I love smoked sausage and homemade cornbread. I did not use a mix this time, so some of you guys might like that. But it was super easy to make. And this is our dinner tonight. It's fast, easy. My entire family loves it. I usually like to take a little bit of the cornbread, crumble it up, and then put some of this on top. So that is our dinner tonight, and I've shown this more than once. So for dinner tonight, I am making the baked quinoa with chicken and broccoli dinner. It's not one of my recipes, but it's already up on my other channel. But you can see the recipe in full by clicking on the link. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done, though. So here it is, fresh out of the oven, the chicken, the quinoa, the bacon, the creamy sauce, the broccoli, the Gruyere cheese. Delicious. This is such a delicious meal. Thank you, Lindsay, for posting the recipe on Pinch of Yum. It is linked below. You guys, I hope you try this recipe. It's delicious. It's one of the quinoa recipes my family will actually eat, which, you know, is hard to get them to actually do. It is fabulous. Let me show you how I plate it up and serve it. So here it is. I've plated it up so simply tonight with just some pear halves, because the chicken and the quinoa and the broccoli and the sauce and the bacon and the cheese is very filling. So I just wanted to serve something light with it. You could certainly serve a little salad or some bread, whatever you wish. But this is a great weeknight dinner. Hello everybody, so tonight is chili night. I got some ground chuck and an onion diced up, cooking away. And once it's browned up, I will drain it if there is any grease. There's not much, it's pretty fat-free, but I will drain it. I had some chili beans and tomatoes and some other yummy stuff, and we are having chili on this very cool and cozy night. Okay, so I added a can of chili beans, but I don't really like real whole big beans. So I take my potato masher and I just mash up some of those beans. It's easy and they do mash up. It takes a second, but I'll leave some whole and mash some up, and that way there's not like a ton of whole beans, which I don't really like a lot. So that's good enough. And now I'm going to add some crushed tomatoes. So I have some red peppers here. They are just roasted bell peppers. I put them on a plate because they're pretty watery and added them right in with the rest of the ingredients. When I was checking out the other day in like the front of the grocery aisle, they had these, so I decided to try it this time. I'm going to add this chili seasoning. I'm also adding just a little bit of ketchup, a little bit of crushed red pepper, and we like a little extra chili powder, so I'm adding a little extra. I've added already about 1 cup of water, or it's really like 2 cups in this glass, and I'm adding a little bit more. And now I'm adding some elbow macaroni right in. And I'm going to give it a good stir, give it a taste, and adjust the seasonings. And that is dinner. Please forgive the sound of the dishwasher. I forgot to run it last night. So we're going to bring this to a boil, or a soft boil that is, and let that macaroni tender up. And dinner is almost done. And I think it needs more chili powder, so I'm going to add some more. And there we go. Let me stir it. It's important to taste it as you go. It's going to be delicious. I love chili without lots of beans. So the peanut butter sandwiches I make to go with our chili are a little bit different, and some of you health nuts might get on me about it, but I take, my regular peanut butter, and I have tried every all-natural peanut butter on the planet, and I don't like any of them hardly, and I like a little bit of syrup. So I've got enough for about 3 sandwiches. I'm going to add just a touch, maybe a tablespoon of syrup. I'm going to mix it up, and it's going to make our peanut butter sandwiches even better. I know so many people do this, but if you don't, you should definitely try it. It's delicious. So here is our chili done, and in the bowl it looks delicious. I'm serving it up again with the peanut butter and syrup sandwiches, which are super yummy. And this is perfect because it's cold tonight. This is comforting, warm, and cozy kind of food, and my family's gonna love it. I have 2 more bowls to make, and it's time to eat. So for dinner tonight, I'm just frying up some chicken breast, skinless chicken breast, with a little bit of seasonings. I have some potatoes back here. I'm also going to make some corn, and that is our simple dinner. I don't even feel like really cooking tonight. So I am skipping the corn tonight. I'm not that hungry, and we are all eating where we want. I had the chicken and the potatoes. That's enough for me tonight, and that's my dinner. So tonight we are having BLTs, and I'm going to serve them up with these hash browns, which I know are not super healthy, but my son and my husband love them. I'm going to bake them and not fry them, so it's a little healthier. We have some of the end of the season tomatoes that I'm going to use in our BLTs, and it's just going to be a very, very simple dinner. So here's dinner. It's finished. You have the hash browns, the huge BLT. It looks delicious. And I like my hash browns with sour cream, not ketchup. I hope you guys have enjoyed this What's Cooking video. I try to show the prep book, the cooking, all of it, so you can get an idea of how to do it without me always having to, post a recipe. Some nights it's just quick cooking, and I hope you got some great ideas for your next week's meals. And if you have any questions or comments, leave those below. It's time to enjoy this massively big BLT sandwich. Thanks for watching, you guys. Bye-bye.